Alright guys, so we have to talk about Airplane from 1980 today, which is I'd say my favorite comedy ever. There are comedies that I do really love, but I feel like Airplane is one of those that has the lasting power that does not go away. And this one I just rewatched on a whim. Like there's somebody in real life I knew that we were talking about the original Airplane and Airplane 2 and how fun they were and how genuinely funny they were. So I had to rewatch them after talking about this in real life with somebody. And Airplane is just, to me, truly one of the best comedies ever made. Like I love it. I feel like I understand why there are so many people who love it as well. They think it's one of the best comedies. And I'm just going to kind of point out all the jokes that I think are awesome in this. I really do love this movie for, again, its humor. And comedies are not usually something that I rewatch, but Airplane I can watch anytime. Now, I love how the opening with the credits, they have the Jaws music, and then they have the Jaws, like the Jaws theme, while it's in the clouds, and the top of the airplane, like the tip, is just going underneath, like you just see the tip of the plane coming out from the clouds, like a shark's head, like the tip of a shark, like underwater. That's really hilarious, of it just above the clouds. And then I love whenever it opens with them, like the characters getting into the airport, and the intercom voices arguing over the red zone or the white zone being the place for parking. And I love the fact that these two people on the intercoms, and this is just in the background, and it's so funny, but these two people on the intercom saying the red zone is for parking only, and then the other person that says no, the white zone is for parking only, and then they argue, and then the guy says, like, whatever the lady's name is, like, I don't want to hear any more of your white zone shit. And like he just says it on the intercom while all these people are walking around. I don't want to hear about your white zone shit again. um, and then it has her say, I know what this is. This is because I had an abortion, isn't it? And like all this is just on the intercom while everybody's walking around, and I love humor like that in this movie. And then I love whenever they show the people in the airport, and like there's a guy at a magazine rack, and it says normal names for stuff like fashion, cooking, and then it just says whacking material because it's got a porn section, porno mag section. That's awesome as well. And then that this is might be one of my favorite jokes because me and my friends always recite this joke, but the two black guys speaking jive, which I mean is, yeah, a little racist, but not in a way where it's harmful in my opinion. Like it's not like an intentionally harmful joke. It's really funny because they do it to where they're just saying stuff but saying it in slang, and like it puts dialogue underneath, or like they're saying something but it sounds in another way to like something else. And I love the fact that it keeps having that recurring joke throughout. And I love whenever one of the black guys is just kind of hurt, and like they're like the stewardess is like, I don't understand what you're saying, and then a woman says, oh, stewardess, I speak jive. And it's like this old lady, and they go up and talk, and then like I love her line because he's arguing with her, and she's like, give me some slack, Jack. And then she's like, oh, Cracker don't want to help. You don't need to help. And like that lady, she's got such a fantastic one scene in the movie, and I love that moment. It's one of my favorite lines in the whole movie, and I love that scene as well of one of the stewardesses singing a song to this girl who's in a wheelchair with an IV, has to live with the IV on, and they're singing a folk song with her guitar, but her guitar pulls out the IV of the girl, so the girl's just there literally dying, like, because the IV's out, that's what's keeping her alive, and she's just dying there shaking, and it is so funny because it is just so incredibly ridiculous. And then I love the two characters in this movie, the main characters. I love Ted and I love Elaine. Ted is played by Robert Hayes, and Julie Hagerty plays Elaine. And these two characters, I love that they've got the romantic subplot where like they're there, and she's like you didn't love me enough. Like I don't want to be with you. I don't want to go back with you. And then he's like, Elaine, we can fix this, please. And like they make it over dramatic in a way where it's humorous, but it feels like out of a romantic movie. And I thought that was funny because it kind of is one and the same, like the cheesiness in a romantic movie to the humor in this. I thought that was awesome. And I love how Ted, like, they just can't get it resolved. So like Ted mopes around and he tells all these passengers his stories of Vietnam and his war flashbacks. And I love the fact that every time he says these war flashbacks and you see them, it cuts to all these characters either dying or killing themselves or dead. There's one moment where he tells the story to an old lady and it cuts back and she's just hanging, like you just see her feet because she's hung herself. And then there's one with an Arab guy who lights himself on fire, which has racist, but still that joke is awesome. And then there's just one character who's just a skeleton next to him after he told the story. Like, I love that. Or maybe that's the second one that's a skeleton. But regardless, I still love that joke. That's an awesome joke where he keeps telling somebody his story of war flashbacks and then it cuts back to them dead or dying or killing themselves. Like, that's awesome. And then there is a line that I lose it at where there's these two little kid characters, and there's this little kid trying to impress this little girl, like this boy trying to impress this girl, and he goes up and he's like, "Do you want coffee?" And she's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Do you want cream?" And she's like, "No, thank you. I take it black, like my men." And then the little kid just looks at her like I just love how that little girl says it in such a deadpan way, and it's so funny. And I love that. And then I also love the pedophile pilot, Dr. Over. He is so funny in this movie. He has this kid goes in, like this kid comes up to where the pilots are. And this guy is straight up saying pedophile shit, which is hilarious, and the mom doesn't even realize. Nobody realizes. He like says, whatever the kid's name is, I can't remember now, maybe it's Tommy, but he's like, "So Tommy, do you like movies about gladiators?" Or then he'll say like, "Tommy, have you ever seen a grown man naked?" And he literally says that in front of everybody. And I love how the mom is like, "Okay, Tommy, let's go." And the pedophile guy just grabs him by the shoulder and goes, "No, he can stay." And then the mom's like, "Okay," and she doesn't even make second glance about it and walks away. And then he says shit like, "Have you ever been to a Turkish do you ever hang around God damn. Stuttered. I couldn't say it right. "Do you ever hang around a Turkish prison?" Like, that was really funny. Man, that was hard. I don't know why I stuttered there. Sorry. I think I just talked over my words. And I love the moment too where this woman in the plane is freaking out, where she's like, "I can't take it anymore. I gotta get out of here." And then then one person slaps her and you're like, "Calm down, you'll be all right." And then another person punches her, and then it keeps going back where like there's a line of people either gonna punch her, either gonna hurt her because she won't calm down, and then there's somebody with a knife, somebody with a gun, somebody with a crowbar. Like that joke is so funny because it's a line of people just ready to hurt this person because she's freaking out. That's awesome. And then I thought it was hilarious with Mr. Over's wife, who is she helps out later in the movie, but they call her from the plane, and she's in bed sleeping, and she's like, "Okay, I'll come and help you guys." And then she turns the lights on, and then there's a freaking horse in her bed, and then the horse, I guess she just had sex with that horse, and she just says to the horse, like, "I got food in the fridge, you can let yourself out." And then the horse just neighs. Like, okay. that was an awesome joke as well. And then that one feminine guy is so funny too. The guy who's like not on the plane, but like at the standby, just listening to them talk. He is so funny because he goes up to Mrs. Over and he's like, "Oh, that dress with that shirt, ew." Like he's really funny with his reactions. And that moment where he's spinning around in circles and he just says, "Dorothy, Toto, it's a twister, it's a twister." And he just starts spinning around in circles. Like, it's so awesome. That guy is so funny as well. There are so many genuine performances in this that are incredible. I love everything about this movie, and I love all these characters, and I love how it just... And other lines, too, that I didn't mention, like... Like Don't Call Me Shirley. Like lines like that are great, and Leslie Nielsen is great too. I haven't mentioned him yet, but all these characters are so fun. All the jokes to me are not dated either. Like you've got the Saturday Night Fever joke, but you could also interpret that as just, I don't know. I don't feel like that's super dated. Like that's the only joke in the movie that I think goes on for a while, but it doesn't. It feels like it could be interpreted as dated, but I don't know. I don't think so. But overall, this is truly one of my favorite comedies ever, and all those jokes that I mentioned, all those gags, are hilarious and awesome, and I love this movie again, rewatching it. I don't think I'll ever not love it. I think this is fantastic. One of the best comedies ever made. And I want to review Airplane 2 sometime, and I will, and I really like Airplane 2 as well. I don't think it's as good as the first one, but I think it is still a good comedy. I really did enjoy it. So tell me down below what you think of the original Airplane comedy from 1980, and thank you guys so much for watching.